So this is why when you hear Joe Biden call for unity, when you hear from members of the media declaring a bright new dawn, an era of good feelings, yeah, no, I'm sorry. You guys are too invested in destroying your political opposition for there to be an era of good feelings. I don't believe you. I am skeptical of your calls for unity. I think by unity, you mean shut the hell up.
Little pencil neck Adam Schiff. He's got the smallest, thinnest neck I've ever seen. Sick. These are sick people.
Again and again, Trump gleefully rubbed it all in on his critics, and for good measure, he argued they shouldn't be called elite anymore. He and his legions of MAGA supporters should.
They're the elite. I'm not. Well, I have a better education than them. I'm smarter than them. I went to the best schools, they didn't. Much more beautiful house, much more beautiful apartment, much more beautiful everything.
And we're not going to shut the hell up. We have no intention of shutting the hell up. We're not going to stop saying true things because they don't fit your narrative, Kevin Roose. We are not going to stop printing material that happens to be true, even though Facebook doesn't like it. And by the way, we are not going to be protecting the tech bros if the tech bros decide that they are going to suppress material on behalf of the Kevin Rooses and Kara Swishers and Judd Legum of the world. We're not going to do that. Okay, this is a pressure campaign by the media to shift the nature of American politics, and you cannot go along with it, and we will not go along with it either. But inside the Democratic Party, that pressure campaign is on the march. Okay, that pressure campaign is not just on the march inside the media battle. It's on the march inside the Democratic Party. The woke have basically declared war on everyone who is not completely woke inside the Democratic Party. Rashida Tlaib and the squad are going to war against any Democrat who suggests maybe it's a bad idea to alienate half the American public by calling them racist, sexist, and bigots for not liking socialism. According to Politico, Rashida Tlaib isn't apologizing for wanting to yank money away from bad police departments. She has no second thoughts about her embrace of the Black Lives Matter movement or for wanting to aggressively fight climate change. House Democrats lost seats instead of expanding their majority, underperforming expectations across the board. And moderates have pounced on liberals like Tlaib. Pounced. The Michigan congresswoman, accusing them of handing conservatives a set of slogans and policies to scare voters. But Tlaib and other House progressives don't want to hear it. It all amounts to unfair blame casting designed to shame them into staying quiet, they say, right as Democrats gain control of the White House. We're not going to be successful if we're silencing districts like mine, said Tlaib. Me not being able to speak on behalf of many of my neighbors right now, many of which are black neighbors, means me being silenced. I can't be silent, you see. If you oppose Rashida Tlaib's ridiculous and radical agenda, even inside the Democratic Party, this means you are a racist. She said, we are not interested in unity that asks people to sacrifice their freedom and their rights any longer. Right, so this is the thing. She doesn't want unity with 70 million Americans who voted for Trump. She doesn't even want unity with the vast majority of the Democratic Party who did not vote for Rashida Tlaib. And she wants dominance. So do the media. They also want dominance. And they will use the same slurs that they've used against Republicans, even against Democrats. See, this is the beauty of the woke. At least their purity test applies to their own party. In fact, there's a letter that went out yesterday from New Deal Strategies, the Justice Democrats, Sunrise Movement, and Data for Progress. These are some of the most radical groups inside the Democratic caucus. There's a letter that went out to various Democrats and to the media. What went wrong for congressional Democrats in 2020? Their answer was that they didn't go radical enough, and that if you disagree with them, you are in fact a vicious and horrifying racist. They say over the last half century, Republicans have harnessed strategic racism to divide the electorate. Too often, Democrats shy away from conversations about race and keep issues of economic justice and racial justice in separate silos. Republican attacks levied at Democrats this cycle, based on terms like defund the police or socialism, have become scapegoats for representatives like Abigail Spanberger, Connor Lamb, and other senior Democrats. Not a single Democrat, progressive or otherwise, argued that Democrats should run primarily on these themes. Moreover, these attacks will never go away, nor will demands for reform from social movements. The attacks are designed to stoke racial resentment, which is core to the GOP's election strategy. Our party should not feed into it. Conservative Democrats may change the terms and people we blame and fear year by year, but Democrats must take on the Republican Party's divide and conquer racism head on and not demobilize our own base. Okay, so the good news is at least the woke are attacking even people inside their own party. So the media have fallen to the woke. The social media have fallen to the woke. The woke are taking on Democrats inside their own party. That is the battle of the future. Okay, the battle of the future is going to be over whether you even get to see the material you want to see, over whether you get to treat your friends and neighbors as friends and neighbors. This is why pasting over all of these deep philosophical conflicts, right? Conflicts I talk about in my book, How to Destroy America in 3 Easy Steps. Go pick it up today. Pasting over those deep philosophical conflicts with Grandpa Simpson over here, right? Joe Biden, it ain't going to work. It's why the media are militantly refusing to listen to Joe Biden when Joe Biden is like, listen, there's a process and the process will play out. No one cares what Joe Biden has to say because the battle has moved beyond Joe Biden. Joe Biden may have been a last gasp attempt by Democrats to basically stop the battle from raging, but Joe Biden doesn't have the stones to actually stand up to his own party. Joe Biden doesn't have the stones to tell Michelle Obama to be quiet when she says things like 70 million Americans are motivated by hate and chaos and racism. He doesn't have the stones for that. Nobody in the Democratic Party has the stones for that. And so what this is going to come down to is a battle to suppress. And the media are going to continue pushing narratives they know are false because it justifies their behavior. Members of the Democratic Party are going to continue to justify their lies that Americans are, broadly speaking, racist because it justifies their strategy. And you are going to be the only people standing in the breach. And we are going to be standing with you in the breach. Right? That is the battle for the next decade. The battle for the next decade is, will they be able to shut you up? Will they be able to tell you that because you are a racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, you need to be shut up? Will they be able to say that things that are factually true are factually false because they do not agree with their narrative? Will they be able to take control of all the institutions to such an extent that you are forced not only to be quiet, but to mirror their political priorities? Because here's the thing. We went real fast in this country from, why can't we just have polite conversations about politics? Please stop being so militant in your pursuit of conservatism, to silence is violence. We went real fast from one to the other, didn't we?
Well, I don't believe he's going to be able to cling to power because his powers will expire at noon on Inauguration Day, January 20th. But I am very concerned about what he might do between now and then. And I must tell you, Wolf, I'm more worried now because of what he might do. This embittered, angry, and potentially reckless president what he might do in these next 70 days, I'm more worried now than I have been during the course of his administration, because he is prone to these types of actions. And putting these people in at the senior ranks of the Department of Defense, people who are inexperienced, unqualified, and some of them are just partisan hacks, really sends a very disturbing signal to our troops, to the military, as well as to nations around the world.
The progression went like this. You conservatives, you should be more polite. And conservatives are like, okay. And then it went to, well, you shouldn't just be polite. You should shut up, right? You should be silent. In fact, stay silent for your own safety. And many conservatives, because they felt like they were being browbeaten, were like, I guess okay. And now the message is, if you do not literally repeat the words we are saying to you right now and agree that they are true, then we will castigate you as an enemy. If you refuse to say right now, President-elect Biden, because he is not in fact President-elect Biden, you are the enemy. If you refuse to say America is systemically racist, you are the enemy. If you don't post a black square on your Facebook page, you are the enemy. If you refuse to post the tautological, semantically overloaded lawn sign on your lawn, you are the enemy. That is the battle. The battle for the future is this culture war. It is the reason Trump was elected in 2016. It's the reason why Democrats did not see the vast amount of support that not only Trump, but Republicans across the country had in 2020. That battle is not going to abate anytime soon.